Click the link in description box for watching part 1 of this story. Let's star. I am your friend, she said softly. That's why I'm being honest with you. I hung up angry. Some people just couldn't handle honesty. The next day, I decided not to go to work. If Julian wanted to pick up his things, he'd have to face me. I waited all morning, rehearsing what I would say. I'd be calm but firm. I'd explain that his reaction was totally out of proportion, but I'd forgive him if he apologized. When he finally showed up, looking exhausted and distant, I felt like I was looking at a stranger. We need to talk, I said, blocking the hallway. There's nothing to talk about, he said quietly. Nothing to talk about? I asked incredulous. You disappear for 3 days over a joke? He just looked at me. For the first time, I felt a chill. It wasn't a joke, Lexi. It was public humiliation. And it wasn't the first time. Oh, come on. Stop being so sensitive. I tried to brush it off, but his voice was firm and it caught me off guard. I came to get my stuff. I'm staying at the hotel until I find an apartment. An apartment? You're leaving over this. He took a deep breath. I'm leaving because I finally realized something. You don't respect me. You never have. That's not fair. Just because I tease you sometimes. It's not teasing when you're trying to humiliate me. And it's not just that comment. It's everything. The way you talk about me to your friends. The way you dismiss my feelings. The way you take credit for things I do. I felt my face burn. What are you talking about? Who's been filling your head with this stuff? That's when he pulled out his phone, showing me dozens of texts, screenshots of conversations between me and Cassidy going back months. This, he said quietly, is what I'm talking about. There they were. All the things I'd said in confidence to Cassidy. Private jokes about Julian's size, his performance, his insecurities, and she had sent him these screenshots. She showed you our private conversations? I was livid. What kind of friend is that? The kind who finally realized how toxic you are, he said. I felt slapped. Toxic? I'm your wife. No, Lexi, this is your fault. And the fact that you still don't see it is exactly why I'm leaving. I followed him as he walked toward the bedroom, watching him pack his suitcase methodically. You can't be serious. You're throwing away our marriage over some texts and one comment. He stopped, looked at me, and said, Do you even hear yourself? You still don't get it. You betrayed my trust in the most humiliating way possible. You've been doing it for years. I just didn't see it until now. So this is Cassidy's fault. She betrayed me. No, Lexi, this is your fault. I felt the sting of his words. The door slammed behind him as he walked out, and I knew this time he wasn't coming back. I yelled after him, You'll be back. Where else are you going to go? This is your home. He stopped at the door, but didn't turn around. Not anymore, he said. And just like that, he was gone again. I stood in the suddenly empty house, furious with him, with Cassidy, with everyone. How dare they make me the villain when I was just being honest? Something most people were too afraid to do. I had no idea at the time how much worse things were about to get. In a friend group, word travels fast. By the end of the week, everyone knew Julian and I were taking a break, as I called it. I tried to control the narrative, telling people that he was overreacting to a harmless joke. But from their responses, it was clear they'd already heard his side. I posted something on Facebook. Sometimes the person you thought would always be there is the one who walks away when things get tough. I expected a flood of support. Instead, the post got 3 likes, 2 from acquaintances who didn't know the full story, and none from my close friends. Not a single one of them engaged with it. I called Heidi, hoping she'd understand since she was the one who started the whole conversation about toys. I just don't get why everyone's acting like I did something horrible, I said after explaining. Lexi, she sounded uncomfortable. What you said was pretty bad. I couldn't believe it. It was just a joke. Would you have laughed if Julian made a joke about your body in front of everyone? She asked. I rolled my eyes. That's different. Guys are supposed to handle jokes. I think the issue is that it wasn't just a joke. It was mean. I couldn't believe even Heidi was against me. Fine, whatever. I have to go. I snapped, hanging up and throwing my phone across the couch. The next day, I went back to work, hoping for something normal. But as soon as I walked in, something felt off. Conversation stopped when I entered, and people were overly polite but distant. Then I saw Cassidy in the break room and realized she must have been telling everyone her version of events. I cornered her by the coffee machine. Having fun ruining my life? I spat. She looked startled. "What are you talking about?" she asked, playing dumb. "First you tell Julian everything, and now you're turning everyone at work against me." She lowered her voice. "I haven't told anyone anything, and I didn't betray you. I did what a real friend should have done a long time ago, showing your private messages to my husband, messages where you constantly degraded and humiliated him. I felt the tears of frustration building up. I thought we were friends." "So did I," she said quietly, "until I realized how you really treat people." As she walked away, I heard someone behind me say, "Yikes!" I turned to see two coworkers quickly look away and leave the break room. Great. Now I was the office gossip, too. That night, I received an email from Julian with the subject line divorce. Just like that. No conversation, just a cold, formal email from his lawyer listing the items he wanted from the house. That's when it really hit me. This was happening. My husband was leaving me over one stupid comment. I tried calling him, but it went straight to voicemail. I texted him, "Don't you think we should at least talk before getting lawyers involved?" His reply came an hour later. "We have nothing to talk about. You've shown me who you really are. And what's that supposed to mean?" I fired back. "Someone who doesn't respect me. Someone who never has. Someone who uses people's insecurities against them and thinks it's funny. I deserve better." I was livid. "This is about Cassidy, isn't it? She turned you against me. This is about you, Lexi. It's always been about you." I just couldn't see it until now. I threw my phone across the room harder this time, cracking the screen, just like my life. I still couldn't understand why everyone was blaming me. 2 months later, my life had completely fallen apart. The divorce was moving forward, and Julian still refused to meet with me unless lawyers were involved. I had to move out because I couldn't afford a mortgage on my own. Turns out Julian was paying a lot more than I realized. My small apartment in Houston was nothing compared to the house we'd built together. The friend group had fractured completely. Most of them still saw Julian regularly. While I got the occasional pity coffee date, where no one mentioned him, I knew they'd talk about me when I wasn't around. I could feel it in the awkward silences, the way they carefully avoided certain topics. Work wasn't any better. Cassidy had been promoted to a position I was up for. Everyone congratulated her, but I just got those sad, sideways glances. I heard through office gossip that Julian was thriving in his new job. The travel that used to annoy me had turned into some big career opportunity for him. And then last week, the final blow. Dave accidentally included me in a group text about a dinner party Julian was hosting. He was bringing someone named Mia. A quick social media search showed me who she was. Successful, kind, and worst of all, she genuinely seemed to respect Julian. In the photos of them together, she looked at him like he was the most amazing man in the world. I tried talking to my mom about it, thinking she would be on my side. Instead, she asked me something that has been echoing in my mind ever since. "Honey, do you ever think maybe you were wrong?" Wrong? All I did was make a joke. Everyone else overreacted. Julian could have talked to me before running away. Cassidy could have been loyal instead of backstabbing me. Our friends could have supported me instead of taking his side. Sure, maybe I shouldn't have made that one comment in front of everyone. I can admit that, but to blow up our entire marriage over it? To destroy my friendships, my reputation, my life? Last night, I saw on Instagram that Julian had gotten another promotion. There he was smiling broadly with his arm around Mia. Caption, #blessed. The comments were full of congratulations, including several from our mutual friends, the same ones who now barely return my texts. I scrolled through old photos of us, back when things seemed good, or at least when I thought they were. Was it really all my fault? Everyone else seems to think so. Everyone except me. Sometimes late at night, I wonder if maybe they're right. Maybe I did take Julian for granted. Maybe I did say things I shouldn't have. Maybe I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. But then I think about how easily he walked away. how quickly everyone turned on me. And I get angry all over again. So here I am, alone in my apartment, scrolling through social media, watching my old life continue without me. Julian's happy. Our friends are happy. Even Cassidy's happy. Everyone's happy except me. And for what? One little joke that went too far. It's not fair. It just isn't. But deep down, in a place I don't like to acknowledge, there's a whisper I can't silence. Maybe this is fair. Maybe this is exactly what I deserve. Not that I'd ever admit that to anyone,